Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to make a video of my new saltwater RODI mixing station that I just got done making recently. It's my first attempt at anything like this. I'm actually new to the hobby. I'm fixing to get in it for the first time. I've kept freshwater fish for about 20 years and had pretty good success. Always wanted to try saltwater reef tank situation, but always been intimidated, as well as the fact that it's really expensive, and when I was younger it just wasn't an option. But decided to give it a try, so I've got a 150 gallon tank on order. Should be ready in a couple weeks, and it's going to be delivered to my home. It's pretty top end. Kind of went all out and spent a lot more money than I thought I would, but you know how this hobby goes. But real excited to get into the hobby, and I've been doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos for the past year or so, and I think I'm pretty well equipped to dive in. So I just wanted to show off my saltwater mixing station today. This is my first attempt. Like I said, obviously I've never done this before. Didn't follow any plans or anything like that. I just looked online, and you know, a lot of the systems are kind of similar, you know, in function. Obviously it's just a matter of containers and size and plumbing and stuff like that. Pretty much the details is what varies on the different systems, obviously. But you know, I did what I thought would work for me in my space that I had in front of me. So I got these 55 gallon square containers from a place called the Tank Depot, and they have a website, and they're located throughout the country, I believe. But luckily for me, I had one locally not too far from my house, so I was able to save quite a bit of money on shipping. These containers were not cheap. I think they were about $170 each plus tax. They also charged to put the bulkheads in, but I got them to throw those in for free. So that kind of sweetened the deal a little bit. But you know, I'm not gonna lie, they are pretty expensive. I originally had bought a couple of 44 gallon Brute trash cans like a lot of people use, and I was okay with that. But I was just having a little trouble with the space issue. These obviously take up a lot less space than the Brute trash cans, and the reason why it mattered to me is because of lack of space around other parts of the house. I needed to make room for this, which is pretty much all I have room for, unfortunately, but it's a 20 gallon tall, and this is going to be my quarantine tank. You have to pardon my garage, it's a mess, but I've got an electrician scheduled to come out pretty soon to make a dedicated plug for my reef tank in the house, as well as kind of under the stand there. You know, obviously it's going to be a dedicated, both lines are going to be dedicated circuit GFCI breakers, you know, for safety. And you know, it's either that or out here I'd have to run an extension cord, you know, all the way around to that plug there, which and that's a GFCI that is shared with a couple of other outlets in the house, as well as the master bathroom plugs, which occasionally blow due to my wife's hair dryer. So that's obviously not optimal, you know, as far as worrying about killing power when I'm at work or something and having all my fish that are in quarantine die. So, you know, I decided to spend the money, go ahead and get a dedicated plug for the reef tank in the house and get a plug down there. So everything's kind of a mess right now until he comes out, and he may have to make some, you know, damage to the wall, which will need to be fixed at some point, depending on, you know, what trouble he runs into dropping a new line down the wall. This is a perimeter wall, and it's obviously in my garage, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, the purpose of this video is to basically show you guys my setup. So like I said, these are 55 gallon NSF Ace Roto Mold containers that I got from Tank Depot. They didn't have a bulkhead, but like I said, I got them to throw those in and install them for me, so that made it easier. Also on the gallon markers, I just traced them out with a permanent marker. Just makes them a lot easier to see. Obviously they are see-through, so you can see the water level, which is really cool, which I thought was another advantage of these over the Brute trash cans. Not only that, but these obviously hold 11 gallons each more, which isn't much, but you know, all things factored, the fact that they hold more water, they take up less of a footprint, and I think they look cooler and cleaner. You know, to me, I think it's worth the money. Some people may not agree. Everybody's got an opinion. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys the function. I've tested this already, so I know it works, but I just wanted to show. Some people were asking me, a lot of you guys, I'm sure it's obvious how this works. Some of you guys that are new to this hobby, like myself was recently, may be interested to see how this works. So what I've done here is I've filled up this first container. This container will obviously be my fresh RODI water. I've got my system here, and again, you'll have to excuse the mess. These lines are not obviously the way they're going to be. They're kind of everywhere. I've been making drinking water, bypassing the DI stage. So, just reverse osmosis, not with the DI, for me and my wife to drink. And so I've got a T there between the DI and the RODI. Sorry, the RO and the DI. And I've got that. I've had some issues with that tasting kind of funny too. At the grocery store, you can get water from the Glacier. In my area, it's called Glacier, and it says on the machine that it's reverse osmosis, but the water tastes good, and we've been drinking that for many years, and I've just got tired of going to the store all the time to fill up these 5-gallon buckets here. It's kind of a pain when you're filling up 5 at a time every couple of weeks. We drink a lot of water, so I decided that a dual benefit of not only making water for my reef tank, but obviously to make water for drinking, that would be cool. I wouldn't have to go to the store anymore. So that's what we've been doing. Unfortunately, the water has a little bit of a taste to it. Sometimes it's kind of a plastic taste. Other times it's kind of a bitter taste. Bulk Reef Supply told me to add a inline carbon filter. They have one on their website. I think it's called an OmniPure. I was going to try that, but because I was trying to get this system done on a particular weekend, I didn't have time for shipping. So I thought I would try one that I found at my local hardware store. It's basically a inline ice maker filter, which I think is carbon as well. Should be pretty similar, maybe not. I tried that and it definitely made an improvement, but it still has a little bit of a bitterness. So I'm gonna maybe try the one from Bulk Reef, or I'm gonna give those guys a call and see if they can point me in the right direction, because it's a little frustrating. But anyway, this system was designed primarily for reef water, so I'm not too concerned with it, although it would be cool to be able to, use it for both. But getting on, as I said, sorry, I'm kind of rambling. I'm not used to making videos, you'll have to excuse me. But so RODI system, this is it basically up here. For those that don't know, many of you do. These lines will all obviously be, neatened up, and I'm gonna actually try to secure them to the wall in a neat fashion once I'm done with everything. I just gotta wait for that electrician to come out and put that plug, because I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff to make room for him anyway. So I don't want to do too much work right now. But basically the water comes in. It's not optimal. I wish I had a sink in my garage or something, but because I don't have any water lines or drain lines in my garage, I have to actually run these tubes for the supply line and the waste line through this crack so that I can shut my garage door when I'm making water. Obviously, I don't want to leave my garage door open all night or all day, so people can get in and steal anything. So I run this around the corner to my garden hose bib, the red line, and then obviously I'm just running the wastewater line down my driveway. I have a sewer drain right nearby the end of my driveway, so it just goes down there. I don't think there's any harm in that. It's basically clean water. So the fresh water is going to be going here, which is, I've got a float installed inside of this container. I don't know if you can see it. This container is full of just tap water right now because I'm testing, and I wanted to show you guys the function. But that float valve will stop the RODI from producing water, like if I make it, while I'm asleep at night. And it should stop somewhere. I tried my best to get it dead on. This being my first time, I might have been off by a little bit, but if everything goes to plan, it should stop right around the 55-gallon mark, which is what I wanted. So basically, I run my RODI, goes through there. The float valve will switch off the RODI unit and stop producing water when it gets to around 55 gallons. Then what I do is, once it's full, and the way that I routed everything, which is similar obviously to many of these other systems, you just got to turn the ball valves a certain way to get the water to go where you want it. So I'm going to demonstrate for you guys real quick how this works. So pretend this tap water that's in this container now is RODI water. So once it's full, all you do is turn this ball valve here. I don't know if you can hear it, but the water's obviously starting to flush due to gravity this way. This pump is a really good pump, but these kind of pumps are not self-priming. So you do need gravity to help you get it started. So right now there's water being pushed into the pump, which is what you want. From there, water comes out of here, goes into here, and then goes into the inlet of the pump. And then from there, obviously this is the output, which goes up, back up against this wall. And I'm gonna strap this pipe to the wall with some metal brackets so that, because I've built in a system here where I've got some cam locks, and I'm gonna build like a PVC gun, I call it, on the other side, which a lot of people use. I've seen similar things on YouTube. It's gonna actually go over the edge of my tank in the house when I'm filling up my water to the tank, and it's gonna have a ball valve, obviously, so I can control that. I got some nylon 1-inch hosing. The only thing I don't like so far is this hosing is kind of rigid. I think over time it'll get better. I've just taken it out of the package recently, and it's real stiff. So it's also cold here now, so that may be a factor, but hopefully that'll get better. But you know, it works nonetheless. Anyway, so I've got that going down the driveway now just to show you how it would work. Simulating, this would go to the tank. So just keep that in mind. I've just got it going down the driveway now. So getting back to where I was, the water then comes up here, and then it's got two choices. It can either, if you turn that ball valve on right there in the center of the screen, it would obviously go to the tank. I've got that off right now. So the only place that it can go is up. So basically what I'm doing now is the water is going to be going from here, which is going to be fresh RODI, into the pump, and then up, and then it's going to fill this container, which will be where I put my salt mix. And then I'll show you in a minute, after that, there's a recirculate function to blend the salt until I'm ready to do my water change. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick on the pump if I can. I'm holding the phone with one hand, so if I have to put it down, I apologize. But I'm gonna try to, I've got the ball valves open the way I need them to get the water to go from container 1 to container 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to plug this in. And again, I've got this all rigged up right now. I'm thinking about using a Wi-Fi switch for my pump once I get everything set up. That way I can go in the house and press a button on my phone. I think that's how they work. I've never used one, but I'm hoping that's how they work, so I don't have to like plug in the pump in my garage and then run inside real quick. So hopefully how they work is what I'm thinking. So let me try to plug this in real quick. Alright, so that works. I'm going to talk a little bit louder because I don't know how loud this is going to be on the video. So now with the pump on, it's sucking water from container number 1. And it's coming out of container number 2. Into container number 2, sorry. So this pump is really strong. I don't remember offhand what the gallons per hour is, but it's pretty good. And it has about, I think, a 45-foot head, so it can push water quite a long ways. That's more than what I need, you know, from where my tank is going to be in relation to this system. I'll zoom in here on the label. So hopefully you guys were able to see that, so in case you want to know what kind of pump that was. So yeah, so it fills up really quickly, which I like. Doesn't take very long at all to pull the water from container number 1 to container number 2, which is really great. So, and you may see some particles still inside of both of these containers, and what that is just, you know, little debris that have got in, and debris and some dry PVC cement from my shoddy plumbing work. I'm new to this, so I've never done it before. And boy, I didn't know it was so hard to be clean when you're using this PVC cement and primer for the first time. You know, I started here on the pump, and you can see all that purple stuff, all that stain. I got progressively better, obviously, as I went along. Thankfully, it's not perfect, but I mean, it's okay for a rookie, I guess. It works. So as you can see now, this container is almost up. There it goes. So that one is basically sucking dry now. That's as low as the water will go. So what I do then to recirculate is I would just shut this valve off, and then I would open this one. Now the water is recirculating in the saltwater mixing container. So theoretically, I would add my salt into here if this was RODI water and I was ready to make a batch of salt water. And I would probably drop a heater in this manway hole, and if needed, depending on the season, right now it's winter, so definitely would need a heater this time of year, you know, to match the temperature of my tank. In the summer, I may actually have a problem with the water being too warm, in which case I'll probably pump it inside to a brute trash can and let it, you know, balance out temperature-wise. And once it's ready, then I'll use like another submersible pump or something. I'll probably have to have a couple of systems. I'll just have to see how it goes. This is all new to me. I'm trying to think of everything, but obviously you can't. So I'm trying my best. But yeah, so I'm not going to show this forever, but you can see it agitates the water quite well. And like I said, there is some debris in there I need to get out. I don't know why I keep saying debris. You know, you can see little particles and stuff. So I'm gonna fish all that stuff out if it doesn't get sucked through the pump. I've been flushing this thing. I've done it about 4 or 5 times now, and it's gotten a lot better, but obviously still needs a little more flushing. So you can imagine, as it's running right now, you can let that go however long you need to mix up your salt water. And then what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna simulate for you guys basically the water being taken from this. Hypothetically, it would be salt water at this stage, and it would then be routed either to a container if that's what you wanted to do, or straight to your tank if you were to set it up that way. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Again, I got these cam blocks, which this is on one end obviously. The other end is going to be just like this, a duplicate, but it's going to go into basically a piece of PVC just like this, then to a ball valve, and then it's going to kind of angle up and over where, you know, it would go up the tank, over the side, and down in, and you know, it can hang there so you don't have to hold it. Like, there's no way it would fall off the tank. So when I want to do a water change, I'm going to take that gun, I'm going to hang it on the edge of my reef tank, probably turn the ball valve, you know, halfway so it doesn't blast water, and then either come out here and plug in the pump, or like I said, if I can get a Wi-Fi switch, if they work the way that I think they do, I will just press a button on my phone, hopefully, and it'll turn on the pump in the garage. And then I'll be standing at my reef tank, and I can, you know, make sure there's no leaks or anything as I'm filling my tank. And then I can turn the ball valve as needed for the, you know, right amount of flow. I'm just probably going to use a Python, you know, the Python fish tank suction things. I don't know what the actual word is. I've been using them for 20 years, but I think they're called Python no spill and fill or something like that. I'm probably just going to use that to suck the water out of my reef tank. I have one already, like a 50-foot one for my freshwater tank that I have currently. So I'm probably going to use that to pull the water out of the reef tank, and then I'll use this system here. Obviously this line will be extended. I've got 2 of these sections of 30 foot. I'm going to connect them together in the middle with a hose barb fitting that connects 2 hoses together with some hose clamps. And then on the end of that will be the, what I'm calling the gun, the fill gun. I don't know if that's the right word. I don't think there is that word for it, but I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm going to simulate now. And again, sorry this video is so long, guys. I didn't plan or script any of this, and I'm not a YouTuber. This is my first video I'm going to put up on YouTube, so take it easy on me. I'm hoping to make some more videos eventually, and I'm sure I'll get better with time. But thanks for your patience in advance. But anyway, I'm going to turn this on now to simulate pushing the fresh salt water to my tank, but obviously it's just going to be running down the driveway. So what you do now is, I've already got the water coming from the saltwater tank. You can see the ball valve's on. Then you got 2 choices here where it comes up. Right now it's in recirculate mode. So again, the water is just recirculating over and over. All I'm going to do is turn that ball valve off and turn that ball valve on, and then you'll see the water come out of here and go down the driveway. So I'm going to do that now and show you. she goes. Like I said, this pump is pretty strong. Maybe too strong. Not necessarily for recirculating, but for filling the tank back up. And like I said, I'll probably use the ball valve to fine tune the flow if it's a problem. So this thing will empty in no time. You can see there it's already dropped, 10 gallons or so. Coming up on almost 20. So it's very quick. This thing empties in 5 minutes or something, I don't know. Maybe even quicker, I haven't timed it yet. So anyway, I won't let this video go on much longer and bore you. But this is how it works. For you guys that don't know how these systems work, I hope this was somewhat helpful. There's plenty of other videos online that absolutely helped me. And I want to say thank you to those other YouTubers who have made videos. Because without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Videos certainly help a lot more than just, forums and pictures, which also obviously help a lot. But I'm a visual kind of guy, and having someone explain to me on video is certainly helpful. So I do appreciate those other YouTubers and everything they do for the community, which I'm fixing to just get into and I'm really excited about. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be glad to help you. But again, I'm a amateur myself. Just done a lot of research and watched a lot of videos and getting into this now. So thanks again. I hope to make more videos in the future. And thanks for everybody who's helped me along the way. I've asked a lot of advice from you guys on the fish groups on Facebook and the forums and stuff, and I really appreciate everyone's help. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off, guys, and happy reefing. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.